Welcome back to today's crypto market update. The Senate has officially passed the Genius Stablecoin Act bill thing, whatever. What? It's a good thing for crypto, kind of. It does bring some regulation, which a lot of people in crypto are not really for. But given all the stuff that's been happening with pump fund and all these scams and rug pulls, a little bit of regulation might not hurt this space. But essentially, it's a good thing for crypto. And hopefully, this will provide the on-ramp for lots of big banks, big wallets, big companies, big countries to smooth into crypto and to inevitably have that overflow into everything else, including Bitcoin and the general market. So let's go ahead and check out some price action for BTC. Now, of course, tensions have not been fully resolved yet in the Middle East. We had quite the pullback yesterday of 2%, Bitcoin falling back inside the cloud. This shouldn't be really a big surprise. Yes, it was nice to see a nice pump up to $108,000 or so on Monday, and yesterday gave it all away. That's how it goes. But the reality is that, and I've said it before, I don't mind saying it again, when we have the price of anything falling inside of the daily TBO Cloud, which is this huge green mass right here. And now I'm just tempted to make this into a creepy little smiley face. So whenever we have price action fall into the cloud like this, it's a sign that we are going to be in bearish consolidation. Again, bearish consolidation, meaning the price is going to go in and out, and it's going to go sideways with no apparent trend. The daily slow line is the macro trend indicator, and it's basically flat, meaning that we're going to see the price do a bunch of this. So it's exciting to get pushes above. It's unfortunate to get pushes back down. But the reality is that Bitcoin still remains strong. Daily volume did not exceed the moving average, but it did exceed Monday's average, or Monday's volume, which is good. But there's no strong trend here for RSI. On-balance volume is still above the moving average, but it's obviously flattened out. On the 4-hour, no real early warning signs to pay attention to for reversals. On the weekly, it's the same. Not really much is happening. Ethereum, of course, suffers way more when Bitcoin has these pullbacks because it's more susceptible to that. And unfortunately, Ethereum, as we know, didn't really push up out of the cloud. It closed down negative 1.35% yesterday. And again, the TBO slow line on the daily time frame remains pointing down. So the macro trend is still down. Even though we have a lot of bullish hype and news about it, this is why I was struggling. I know we had the breakout. I know this was a really exciting signal for Ethereum, but having all these TBT bearish diversion signals with a descending slow line is pretty hard for me to ignore. And since seeing this top one, we've seen it fall down 13%. It's currently down 10%. Now, this does not mean forever Sandlot style, but it does mean that we should expect the price of Ethereum to chop inside the cloud because it already closed inside the cloud back over here, wicking inside, closing inside the cloud. We should continue to expect more sideways consolidation. It's normal. Volume-wise, volume actually exceeded the moving average on Monday and yesterday, which is positive. Even if it's bearish price action, it's still positive. But unfortunately, when we get two red closes, it will negatively impact our on-balance volume blue jagged line right here, which is also negatively impacting the moving average, which is now pointing down. So these are unfortunate side effects. On the 4-hour time frame, nothing really to share here. On the weekly, no real change again. Now, stablecoin dominance, because there's more fear in the market, more chop, of course, we're going to see it go up higher. It closed up just under 2% yesterday. But the reality is that this slow line, and you don't want me to show you this, trust me, because I don't like admitting it as well. But the stablecoin dominance slow line is still macro trending up, which means that we should be expecting more fear. We won't really be seeing any real significant strong trend until this flattens out and starts going down. And it's not going to happen like that unless the price just absolutely dumps. And I don't even know what situation could even force that to happen. Another bit of news, Others Dominance unfortunately printed a second TBO breakdown yesterday. Just really bad for stablecoin. Others Dominance on the 4-hour time frame. It's also printed two TBO breakdowns here on the 4-hour. So we should expect more explosive downward price action to come. Now, the reality is that just because the market is falling like this doesn't mean that there aren't good trading opportunities to be had. can see here on Alt Trading, I have a position here running for SUI. And this is actually an automated position using our free TBT signals that are available on Alt Trading. So you can see that, yes, it will open and close a position in a matter of 2 hours. It will even buy in a downtrend. And the way that these signals are designed is to buy the dip and to buy the dip again. And by doing so, we're able to dollar cost average or DCA our position down. So that way we sell on the bounce instead of buying here and just holding and being down 4%, 8%, 12%. You get the idea. Yes, the gains are small, but they add up over and over and over and over. Like this just keeps going and going and going. So how do you get access to this? Well, you have to go over to thebettertraders.com, which I didn't prep yet because it's been one of those fun mornings. But at thebettertraders.com, the best place where you can go is 15 Minutes to Financial Freedom. In this course, I teach you how to set up the TBT signals, how to get set up on Alt Trading, how to weather these storms, all this sideways chop, specifically in crypto. When we have these pullbacks, these are always opportunities in disguise. And that's how I'm treating this entire sideways chop right now with the DCA strategy, buying on the dip, selling on the bounce over and over and over again. This course is amazing. You get lifetime access, all this fun stuff. Comes with a month trial as well to the Better Traders Club Trader tier, where you get access to the TBO indicator. But if you just want access to the TBO, you can just join the Trader tier if you want. So let's talk about the rest of the tickers that I've chosen for today. Now, Bitcoin Cash continues to push higher. It actually wicked and put in a higher local high at 483. Obviously didn't close green. And obviously it's still struggling to close above TBO resistance here at 461. It's really interesting. Now, even though these three TBO Cloud lines, the fast, medium slow are all pointing up, the slow line is still kind of flat. We really want to see this curl up, because when this one is curling up, this shows us that there is strong macro bullish vibes on the chart. But until then, we just trade the moves on faster timeframes, which we've been able to do a lot of. Maker, this one wicked above the 618 on Monday up to 2314. Unfortunately, it wasn't able to close above this level yet again. Gasp, I wonder why. Well, all of you that have taken the Smarter Trader or are interested in learning more about active trading and how I use fibs to predict stuff like this, take that course. But unfortunately, Maker had a pullback. The next target obviously is going to be here, the TBO Fast line. And again, just looking for a quick dip and a rip back up to the 618. KAIA is holding up incredibly strong. Considering the fact that most coins yesterday closed down really red, KAIA only closed down about 1.67%. Not only that, it held above the 382 Fibonacci level, which is impressive to say the least. Volume did not exceed the moving average, but the fact that the price held is crazy. I'm still holding on to my position here for KAIA. I would love to see it rip higher. And usually what happens after these charts pump like crazy, they go kind of quiet. People forget about it until finally pop, and it goes way up. AERO, this one had a pretty big pullback of 8% yesterday after wicking way above the 0.5 fib level here at 87 cents, 88 cents essentially. So these little pullbacks happen. It's okay. Volume, though, tells me everything I need to know. Volume looks great yesterday. It actually outperformed moving average almost by 3, which is fantastic. So there is demand for AERO even on a pullback like this. So you have to understand, even when the prices fall like this, there's still demand, because in order for prices to fall, people selling have to be selling to someone who wants to buy. You get what I'm saying? So this is actually a good sign. I think this is just a sign of where we are in the market. Lots of chop consolidation, lots of uncertainty with Bitcoin's price action and everything that's happening around the world. Now, the unfortunate truth, again, with BNB is that we saw this TBO close long on Saturday, was confirmed. We saw on Monday, it pumped right up to the fast line, which is the expected behavior. And then yesterday, fell back down again, and then printed another close long. So our expected behavior is a move up to the fast line. It's less than 1% away, but seeing lots of these happen in a short amount of time with a descending TBO cloud like this does not instill confidence in me at all for BNB. QNT, Quantum, printed its first TBO close long. And I wanted to share this with you because remember all these guys? I said, yes, the trend's bullish, but we got some of these TBT bearish divergence signals. Yes, the trend is up. Yes, we have breakouts, but this isn't really great. And these will always print before we get a TBO close long. This will come last. And it'll still be a couple of days, if not weeks, until we get an open short if the price is going to continue to fall down lower. Now, one thing that was really, really close to happening was an RSI reset, which is when RSI, or the relative strength index, falls below 25 and goes back above. And that cross above is a reset. We didn't get one of those, but it's clear that on-balance volume agrees with us that the trend is down. Even the moving average is pointing down. Volume almost exceeded the moving average, but still, it's pretty bad. But we should expect a move up to the fast line about 7%. So this, again, is our chance. If we were in this from the open long on May 3rd, and we rode it all the way to the tip top 47%, we never took profit. This is letting us know now this bullish trend might be turning into a bearish one. Therefore, when the price retraces back up to the fast line, which would be 27% from there, consider taking out some profits just in case. Now, more bearish news. Sorry, this is the state of things right now. Hype unfortunately put in a TBT bearish divergence cluster. This is a pro tier indicator that's available in the Better Traders Club. Now, the pro tier. So this cluster is essentially the same thing as TBT divergence. It's the same triangle, but a cluster lets us know when there are 3 or more of these TBT divergences happening within 8 candles. Then it's going to turn one into this thicker red symbol to identify a cluster. And a cluster is basically going like this, like, pay attention. That's what it's like, grabbing your face and saying, look at me, look at me, look at me. Basically the same thing that we saw here for quant. Look at me, look at me, look at me. That's the whole point of this. So we're seeing one of these as well for hype. Now I know I've talked about hype being great for buying the dip, and it has been great. And yes, actually this one looks good still. The slow line is moving up, all the other lines are moving up, the price is still above the cloud, but this is letting us know, eek, be careful. Yes, we are seeing a little bit of weakness here with RSI. Yes, we are seeing some indecision here with on-balance volume, especially it's trending down, but now it's above. Yes, we are seeing volume exceed the moving average, but it's not as strong and steady as it was before. So we just need to exercise caution. It doesn't mean, okay, abandon ship, sell everything, get out of this, start shorting it. It does not mean that. But it does mean be careful, because this is letting us know that there is a very strong bearish divergence happening on the chart. PEPE, this one is in process of opening a TBO open short. Unfortunately, we got our close long. We never got back up to the fast line. Now, looking here at RSI, so close to putting in an RSI reset. Volume has also been dying down a lot. On the 4-hour, it has a TBO breakdown, which is not a good sign. TIA, similar story. TBO breakdown right here, but it's really scattered. But notice what happened last time. Even though we had a little bit of a bounce, it fell a lot lower. And of course, it's down, 22% from that previous one. And it also printed a TBO breakdown, not a cluster. These two kind of were, but we really need 3 in a row to be a real cluster. But this worked pretty well, letting us know we're going lower. Now, I don't want to share this because I don't like sharing it, but there's actually a possibility of not a possibility. There is a opportunity here for SPX. The unfortunate truth is, again, you're kind of picking it up here. TBT divergence, TBT divergence, TBT divergence right up there. We didn't get a cluster, but it's letting us know, pay attention, pay attention. Yes, we have our breakouts, but the big thing happening right now in terms of an opportunity is that even though SPX has fallen from its top down here to the drop about 30%, the reality is that it fell to the fast line and it's bouncing right now. This is an opportunity in disguise. It may not feel like it, but this certainly is an opportunity in disguise. No, our slow line is not curling upward. Yes, we're starting to see the cloud flatten out, but the reality is that volume is still good. The reality is that, yes, RSI has been falling down a lot. Yes, the price has been struggling to push above, but it doesn't mean that we're done on this chart necessarily. So understand that, yes, we are at historical resistance. If you watched my video on Coin Bureau trading yesterday, yes, we're seeing exactly what I said play out. We are seeing the start of this trend line being broken. So we need to be careful with this, which is why I already took profits out of this chart and I'm letting the rest ride. And I'm totally fine with that. But I do believe that we're going to see another second wind, another move up, maybe here to like 160 for SPX, but we need to keep an eye on it still. It is still strong bullish over here on the weekly time frame, even though it's fallen below 70. It still looks incredible. So we can't freak out just yet. Now, some charts to pay attention to, just interesting things happening here. H-bar Hedera is coming down to the 0.5 fib level. The last time it was down here, it did drop below it quite a bit by what, 12%, 11%, but it is coming down here to this TBO support level, which is interesting. It could be a nice little bounce trade. Plus, on the daily time frame, if you caught it, we're seeing an RSI reset, but we've already seen lots of these. SUI. This one is also really interesting, especially when it comes to price action. Now, I told you before, once it breaks this level, it's not going to be that great for SUI, to be honest. We already saw it pierce it here on the 14th, and yesterday it pierced it and began making lower lows. It's not a good sign. But it's kind of sort of, and I'm very, very, very generous here, kind of sort of holding support. So I do expect SUI to kind of bounce up here to the fast line eventually. We will see it happen. We're not really seeing any excitement with volume. There's obviously a strong bearish trend with on-balance volume, but I'm just getting a vibe. That's all I can say. S, also similar story. Now this one is actually a much better story, much better scenario. S put in a higher low yesterday, which is great. It's a really good symbol, a really good sign of strength. Now, this squiggly circle right here should be circling this. We are seeing higher lows here for RSI as well. 2372, 2470, 2578, hike! But this is actually a really good sign of building strength, even though the price is falling lower, even though the volume is dying, even though on-balance volume is bearish. I am still expecting S to move up from here. I'm just one of those crazy guys that I just can't give up on my trading evictions. IMX, I believe, is immutable. This one is still massively oversold on daily RSI, but I want you to check this out. It's been falling so much, but the last time it bounced off this area, moved up 100%, and it's coming back down to this TBO support line at about 39 cents. This is a great entry opportunity, not for 100%, even for like 30%, just up to the fast line is a great little move, but just keep your eyes on this chart. And also HNT, this one fell down right here to TBO support. It's done this before. It could also drop a little bit more. The one thing I'm concerned about with this chart is on the weekly time frame is that it could still fall a lot further. It could fall down a whole lot more. But we've already seen it bounce once off of here. The thing we have to pay attention to next is if we're going to see another bounce, if we see like a triple bottom, it's a local, it's not a real bottom, but if we see a triple bottom bounce here, there's less of a chance of it happening the third time. The first time for a double bottom, the chances are much higher of bouncing. The second, or rather the first bounce, the second bounce, or a triple bottom becomes less likely and it might break, but it is an interesting opportunity. Now, if you want to learn more about that kind of stuff that I was sharing, and especially I was talking about the the Fibonacci retracements and all that stuff, that's in the Smarter Trader course. That goes way deeper into indicators, into strategies, into how to use the TBO with more advanced trading strategies, leverage trading, scalping, all that fun stuff. That's in that course. But again, for most people, 15 Minutes of Financial Freedom is a great, great course. And of course, if you want access to the TBT divergence indicator, that is going to be available in the pro tier of the Better Traders Club. So again, I really encourage you to watch the video that I posted this past Sunday. And again, we need to pay attention to these big macro signals that are flashing on the weekly time frame. Watch this video and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Until the next time, you know what to do. Stay awesome and stay in the green. Peace.